Hello and welcome back. I am Kim Farrell. I'm an ELA teacher at Sarasota Middle School, and this is a brief tutorial on our OneNote advanced page settings. So if you haven't seen the beginner and intermediate videos, the beginner video goes over how to create the notebook. The intermediate video is the functionality of the notebook, how to insert files, printouts, pictures, and most importantly, how to distribute pages to students and how to review student work so that we can then grade it. One of the first things I want to talk about as one of our features to go over is timestamps for student work. I'm going to go into a notebook with some students in it, and I'm going to see the last assignment that this student worked on. Now we see her initials of the last time she was in each part of these notebooks. Now let's say I would like to see when she completed this first page of work right here. So I'm going to go to the end of her paragraph and right click, and you see I'm going to see her name right here along with the date. So on 9/11 at 9:37 a.m., which matches the date that it was assigned, she completed that paragraph. And then if I click on her timestamp, it pops that timestamp right above her work there for me and her to reference. Now, if I want her to know when I have graded this assignment, I can always put the grade at the bottom, and then I can right click at the end of what I have typed, and it will timestamp my writing as well so that she knows that it's been graded at this time and that the assignment is all done. One of the next things I want to talk about is making sub-pages. This is very helpful for organizing work by quarter, by chapter, however it works best in your class. I will show you my vocab tab. I have them set up by quarter. So as you can see, if I open every lesson for the whole quarter, I'm doing a lot of scrolling. So what I've done is I've created these sub-pages underneath each quarter so that I can then collapse them and have less to worry about, less to see. So when quarter one is over, I'll close it up and I'll open quarter two and move on to my next lesson. So to create these subpages, we're going to go ahead with these workshop pages I've created, and you want a page created that's going to be the main page. Now, I can put stuff on this page as well, but for now, I'll just leave it blank so that I can make these other pages subpages. So whichever one is on top, you're going to go to the next one down, right-click on it, and create Make Subpage. And then I'm going to want all of these under there, under that one heading. So I'm going to make them all subpages. Now, if I ever have other workshops, I can create other workshop pages here and not have them all be cluttered under this workshop section. So that is how you use subpages. And if you ever want to undo it, you just go to Promote Subpage and it pulls it out. But I would like to keep it like that. Keeps it nice and organized. The next tool I want to show you is the Lasso tool, and how we can take our drawings and we can move them around. So if I were to write 100% on someone's grade and I wanted to give them a smiley face, and I don't want to have to do that every single time, I'm going to Lasso Select, because if I were to regular select, I'll just get one individual piece at a time. But if I want all of these, I have my Lasso Select tool right here under the draw, and I can Lasso Select and pick everything. From here, if I click on it, I can copy it, and I can then paste it onto different notebooks. I can move it around, and I have a lot more functionality with those items. And if I want to not have it on there anymore, I can then erase it. The next tool the next thing that you can do with the Lasso Select is if I have a word written with my pen and I want to select it, and then turn ink to text. It kept one of my lines. But then I have the word right there for me. Similarly, if you do ink to shape and that stays highlighted, and I draw a square, it will turn it into a perfect square. Now, I am not very good at drawing circles, so it's going to turn that into a circle for me. Similarly, any of these shapes that you create can be created with the draw tool, but then if you leave this on, it'll auto fix each of your shapes as you go, which can be handy. The next tool is the replay tool. This can be used in any class, but I imagine it would be very helpful, for example, in a math class. If you were doing a longer equation, my shapes are still on. If you're doing a longer equation and you want your students to be able to see how you did it, they can go to the View tab and click this Replay button over on the right. Now they're going to be able to select the area they want to replay, and it will walk them through that equation again, just the way you did it, so that they can see that step-by-step process. The next tool is an Imersive Reader. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into my notebook where I know I have some text, and we are coming up on our unit of Edgar Allan Poe, and we are going to read The Raven. So in this area, we can, once we have our page open that we would like to do our Immersive Reader in, we can go to the view at the top and click Immersive Reader. This is going to take us to a unique area where, as you can see, I have different things marked up already. I can here change the text size. So if we have any visually impaired students or students who prefer larger text, I can increase the spacing in between the words to make it more readable. I can change the font. I can change the background colors, whatever is going to work best for that student. The grammar options are some of my favorite options as a language arts teacher. If they're all turned off, then the text just comes up as normal. But let's say I'm doing a short story and I want the students to make sure that they have plenty of descriptive adjectives. I can have them turn the adjectives any color that I choose. And if I want them to be labeled as adjectives, I can click the Show Labels button. This way, when they're writing, I can say, hey, check out your adjectives. Are they descriptive? Are they high academic vocabulary? Or whatever it is that I'm looking for. Or perhaps you're just reviewing or teaching parts of speech. It will identify each of those with or without the labels and color code them accordingly. It will also break it down into syllables. The reading preferences help the students read as they line focus and zoom in on each line or a set of lines. There's also a picture dictionary and a language translator built right into the OneNote notebook. And that is the Immersive Reader. The next tool that I would like to show you guys are the rule lines. This is really easy to find and fun to use. If you're in the view section, there's this button right here, and we can turn our notebook paper into like college ruled or wide ruled. Let's say we want them writing on the lines. Especially if they're writing using the draw pen, it'll help keep their writing straight. If you are a math teacher and you need some grid paper, that is available to you in multiple sizes as well. And if you want it to go away, you can just click No Grid Lines and it will disappear for you. The next tool that we have is under the Insert tab, and it is stickers. There are all sorts of fun and silly stickers, but some of my favorites are these two. They just have our well done, our nice work, check your spelling, not done yet, all different options. And what's great about these is we can change them to say whatever it is that we want them to say. It's going to keep that same frame. I'll click done, and it will pop that into my notebook. I can then move this around and put it wherever I want it to be in the notebook. And the final tool is the format painter. So if I have something in the wrong format like this, and I don't want it to be like that, I want to go to the Home tab and make sure that my settings are how I want them. And if I use that format painter tool and I go over the text, it will adjust the text to the right formatting. There we go. So it erased all of those formatting issues that I was having with the wrong color and the highlighting, and adjusts it to whatever it has been set at right up here. So those are all of the advanced tools that I have to show you that might be useful to you in the classroom. I hope that all of these tutorials have been helpful, and hope everyone has a great rest of the year.